All right, Cubs fam, this is a really exciting day, a day of celebration. Kenobi coming to the game, and I do want to focus a lot on that today. After this video, be sure to head on over. I will be streaming basically all day. We're going to be starting with my Grand Arena, and then we're going to be getting into the Kenobi event. Fortunately, Nem is going to be with us, and we're going to be able to unlock, max out, ult, everything. We're going to do the whole gambit today and get a lot of testing in so you guys can see what the jig is with Jedi Master Kenobi. But before we get into all of that, we have a couple important things to call out. One really important thing and then one important suggestion to make to CG regarding the new update. I think the new update is amazing, and I think that there's a couple things we could tweak to make it even better because it has created a few issues, and I think they're worth addressing right now. I don't want to sound like a negative Nancy by addressing them because I'm thrilled with what they did, but tweaking a few simple things would make it much better. But the first big thing to talk about is the update that happened to Geonosis territory battles, the light side version, and this is dramatically affecting the ability for people to gain KAM shards. It is on the Reek mission. Let me pull this up right now and I'll talk to you guys about this. Now, big shout out to my good friend Go Cubs, my guild leader of Port, and he has sent me this footage. It's a little bit blurry. I actually have an example of it from my Twitch stream yesterday, but unfortunately my webcam was covering up the character that was in question just enough that it wasn't quite usable. So blurry footage over covered up by webcam footage. We had to take our pick here. This is the one we're going with. And so a big part of this battle is dealing with the stacks of trampled, which whoever the leader is, they will be able to gain this granted ability here, which is going to remove those stacks of trampled. Now, we got to understand before we get into this, we got to understand what trampled does exactly. And here's the stand your ground ability. Again, dispel all stacks of trampled from target ally. And here's the gig with trampled right here, everyone. So deal physical damage. Let's see. Let's try to about trampled. Minus 50% protection, and then minus 10% defense for each stack. Max 5 stacks. Can't counter assist. Gain bonus turn meter. Bonus turns or bonus turn meter. Here's the kicker though. That minus 50% protection used to actually come back. Once you would remove the stacks of trampled, you'd see your protection jump up, because if you had minus 50% protection, now you got plus 50% max protection on you. And so assuming that all your protection hadn't been removed, you would see an increase in protection. And now after this update, I'll show you guys this video right now. You can see very clearly that no protection is coming back. It looks like Shak T here has 1 stack of trampled, and so that's going to be removed. Absolutely no protection recovery there. The max protection is obviously staying right where it is at. This needs to be looked into. I think this is a big deal. I saw the same thing on my account with Fives. He had 2 stacks of trampled. I removed them, and there was no protection change whatsoever. He had protection, and he got 1 shot the very next turn by the Reek. Created a dramatic difference in the course of the battle. And so for those KAM shards are obviously a very hot commodity and something that I think that CG absolutely needs to look into. My guess is that the reason something got tweaked there, it's possible maybe there was too much recovery, but there has to be something. If you're going to remove minus 50% max protection and then remove that stack, there's going to be some movement there. You're going to get healthier. That's not happening right now. It was before. It needs to be addressed, especially considering I think that they're maybe getting ready to use KAM for a Galactic Legend coming up, which we might know who the next Galactic Legend is today. Fingers crossed. All right, so that's enough on that. I really hope that gets addressed very soon. I know it cost my guild several KAM shards this go around. Now let's talk a little bit about this new squad selector tool. Now, I am a big fan of this. I know I was actually surprised to learn some of you weren't, but when I started listening to your concerns, I can kind of see where you're coming from. We used to see 3 teams at once here, right, with the old squad selector. Now we're only able to see 2 at once. It makes for a lot more scrolling. And something I noticed when I was looking into this is there's a lot of dead space here on these, especially if you look at the 3s. A lot of dead space that is just not being used. So I've done a little crappy Photoshop work, and I want to show a better way that we can accomplish the same thing. I'll show this right next to each other. So here is what it looks like in game. Here's my crappy Photoshop job. If we just move the edit button over to the left, put it underneath the squad description, and then move the teams up to the side, the edit button would need to be just a touch smaller, but really not that much smaller. I feel like that's very reasonable. Then you can comfortably fit 3 squads on there at once. I think this is worth doing. Some people might feel like it's kind of a meaningless change. I don't think so, because we have so many teams we're cycling through, and going from seeing 3 teams already felt a little claustrophobic. Going all the way to 2 feels 33% less. It feels even more claustrophobic there. And so I just wanted to throw this out there as an idea for Capital Games. I hope that they see this and take advantage, because I mean there's plenty of space here to do this, and then you have less of that dead space, more scrolling capability to see everything that should be there. One other thing that I will call out as well that I think is significant, we'll jump back over here into my game. For Grand Arena and Territory Wars, when you used to use the squad selector, this is probably the more pressing matter to address, and maybe this will happen. Maybe this will happen with their update. They mentioned that they were gonna send a update here, and it would show us the arrows. So right now, if we rearrange, we can't move the squads like we could before. They said those arrows will come with an update, so maybe this will come with that update. But notice here, these are all the defensive teams I placed here, and there's no red indicator that they're unusable right now. None whatsoever. It just says this when I click on them. That's going to become problematic for a lot of people, because I'm going in here to my offense, and I'm not sure what I've used yet. Oh, crap. It was just really good to see very clearly, have a visual on which characters have been used, which ones had not been used, who are available, who's not available. Removing that feature, I think, is a mistake, and so I hope that gets added back in as well. So just a couple things I wanted to call out, I think, that would make this update better. By and large, it is a tremendous update. The ability to go in here and kind of the way I am farming characters now, I already talked about this. I've got my farm section here, and this is just very easy for me to prioritize my farming. I've got the recommended tab is worthless, but having all of these right here and being able to name the squad, something I did for offenses, like this is what I'm going to use for this team. I might do a little bit more of that. And so I think it's a great step in the right direction, but we did take a step back on how many squads we're seeing at once. I think we need to correct that. And then obviously the indicator of what's been used, what hasn't been used. So anyway, as you guys are seeing this and finishing up, I hope you head over to my stream. I love you guys. Thank you so much for all the support. Super excited for Kenobi. And as always, my brothers, don't forget.